Well, thank you everyone for being here today. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Megan Stammeier. I am the Public Relations Director for Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Dubuque, and I work in the Waterloo office. And then we have Stacy Sherman here, the Outreach Director as well. Welcome, Stacy. And she's from the Dubuque office, is where she primarily works out of. This is going to be a tour of the parish portal, the overview of why we have the parish portal, and just kind of that navigation. So just getting everybody to the same level, not having any expectations about technology. Everyone is at a different level and different level of need, also using different kinds of devices. So we'll walk through that, and then we'll have a Q&A portion. So a big component of this parish portal is that all of you working in your local communities are the experts in your communities. So I would like to make sure that, for example, the Benton County page, when we get into that, is representative of the services that are best suited to you in your local area. So feel free to offer feedback. Making this work for individual parishes and individual counties is going to hopefully connect everyone in a whole new way. So the parish portal is available on our website. It is something that came about because we would like parishes and other community partners to have a more robust sense of what Catholic Charities does and what other agencies do and how those are connected. So it's really just that communication piece that can feel like it's missing, particularly in those rural counties where we don't have a physical Catholic Charities office. So you can find this in our top bar on the website. That's where it will always live, is this parish portal button up here, but it's also so new and shiny that we have it front and center on this new parish portal. So this is your county specific guide. As I mentioned, there's just so many resources out there. So this is not all inclusive, and it is something that will be updated and is fluid as well. So don't feel like this is set in stone, it's concrete, it's never going to change. We will certainly be updating this based on individual parish recommendations, things that we learn from our agency and our network as well. So within that, we have a clickable map here of all 30 counties. So you can select from that, and they're also listed down here. Again, that's a compatibility piece when it comes to different types of devices and how you access this website. Sometimes on a cell phone, these clickable maps and your finger just don't get along. So we have it down here as well where you can select from a list. We'll come back to that in a moment. As you scroll down this main page of the parish portal, all of these resources were already available on our website. But because of the very specific type of work and ministry that happens in parishes, we needed a place to collect all of those. So bookmarking this page for fast access as someone walks into your office and doesn't know how to start the counseling process and needs some mental health, not a crisis, but looking for some long-term mental health help, there's a button to schedule a counseling appointment. Click here. So you click on that, it jumps you right into that form, and then one of the Catholic Charities staff will reach out, and you don't have to try and determine like who, what, and where. Same way for volunteering. You have some folks interested in volunteering. There's a sign up link there back to our volunteer form. Again, these already existed. You may be familiar with them, or maybe you have them bookmarked out there in multiple places. This will simplify things and make it a one-stop shop. I hope that your parish never has to use this button ever, but in case you're doing some preparedness planning, we have a link to our disaster resources page, as well as suicide prevention awareness, with Catholicism and suicide as the theme, and some trainings out of some other dioceses. Again, we have lots of services, and we want parishes to be able to feel connected to those, regardless of your location in the 30 counties. We're also not trying to reinvent the wheel. The 211, either over the phone or 211iowa.org, is a critical, essential resource across the whole state and in other states as well. So that is going to have many, many more resources than what you'll even find on the parish portal, but they're not tailored to the type of work and ministry that you do. So if you have someone who wants something very specific, for example, someone seeking financial assistance for funeral services or something of that nature, very specific, that would be a good place to click on this 211, type in your zip code, and use that list of resources instead. We also have some information on our strategic plan, as well as these links to other important Catholic agencies, either nationally or internationally. So, Catholic Charities USA, Catholic Relief Services, the USCCB, and more information on walking with moms in need. These are type of questions that we get a lot too. If there's some type of disaster and how can we help and what's happening with it, we want all of that to be in one centralized spot. So this is the homepage of the portal. Now, the fun part, I think, is the clickable piece or jumping into a specific county. So let's take Terry's county. We'll do Cerro Gordo. You get to be the example. So we'll click on Cerro Gordo. It's going to open up in a brand new window. At the top, you have a quick return button too. So if your cluster or your ministry spans multiple counties, you can jump back and forth between counties pretty quickly that way. A big component of this is emphasizing that we try not to duplicate services and that we're providing help to the most poor and vulnerable in our communities. So within that network and ensuring that people who are seeking help have already applied for state, federal, and other agency services that they are qualified for. And then Catholic Charities serves as that safety net in many cases for those who don't qualify. Maybe they're slightly over an income threshold or they've got an additional situation in their household. So that's why it's so important that we're part of this wider network. So you'll see on the left-hand side panel here, the Catholic Charities list of services. So every county will indicate which physical regional location and phone number of Catholic Charities is closest to that specific county. And then all of these pieces are clickable. So if you have someone in Cerro Gordo County who's looking for immigration assistance, counseling, you can click on these and it will take you to more information. On the right-hand side is a short list of other essential community resources. So rental assistance, utility assistance, emergency shelter, homeless services, mental health crisis lines. So there's a good difference to point out there. So Catholic Charities provides mental health counseling. If you have someone that you know of that walks into your office is going to hurt themselves or others, is in that crisis stage, there's a hotline that needs to be called or dial 988. So there's a difference in the type of services required there. Food bank, medical and dental care. So again, this is not an all-inclusive list. This is to get you or your person that you're assisting to that next step. Every agency on that list has their own specific eligibility and program requirements. Those could change at any time. We did make these clickable, so if they have a website, you can jump into the Community Health Center website or the Salvation Army website to learn more about what those requirements may be. My page looks a little different because I edit the website. And so over here, if you pull up the website, that will be a social media link. Because of some firewall things on my page, it says something went wrong. It's meant to look like that on mine. So if you view the page, there's our Facebook link right there. So you can stay connected that way as well. And every single county has a printable PDF poster linked to the page. So when you click here for Cerro Gordo County, for example, it is just a breakdown of the information that's already on the website and it's dated. So this version is from September 2023. We'll be doing regular updates to these. So we want to make sure that that most current information is the one that if you choose to print this and post it somewhere within your parish or hand it out to someone, that it is as current as possible. We don't want to send anyone on an unnecessary chase through different phone numbers and resources. It also points back to that 211. So this is printable. You can just hit print. It's formatted in a way that should be compatible. And then you've got it at your fingertips. Many of the counties also have some regional staff identified, those who maybe work physically in that location frequently or cover that area. That does not mean that they're the only staff working in those areas. All of us serve all 30 counties in a lot of capacities. And so this is just to kind of get some faces associated with services. That is my quick tour of what the parish portal is currently. It is available at any point to not just you in the parish, but if you have like parish staff, but if you have volunteers, maybe a teen ministry, anything like that that should be connected to this, feel free to share this website with them. And I would definitely encourage you to bookmark this so that it's right there at your fingertips. So I'd like to open up the floor because we've got a great combination of folks from all over, maybe some challenges you've experienced, things you're looking forward to with this, feedback, suggestions, positive and negative. Kind of want to open the floor to everyone else at this point.
Well, Megan, so we have a real life situation here in terms of trying to help somebody with housing assistance at Friends of Family, and come to find out that just a few weeks ago they changed their phone number of how you do get through to them. So I'm sure that's what you're looking for, and I can email you that phone number and so forth. But we are going to have to be active in our local communities and know those things and then feed them back to you, right?
It's definitely a partnership. So similarly, our case managers and their regular contact with all of these community agencies, whoever gets that information first, we absolutely want to make sure that it is as current as possible. So for example, the Friends of the Family number, if they haven't updated it on their website, but they verbally told somebody on the phone, I would love to know that so that I can make sure that for that county, or if I can then follow up with an agency to ensure that we have current information, absolutely.
And I can maybe kind of just expand a little bit on the case manager piece and how we work together with those partnering agencies. And again, just to introduce myself, I'm Stacy, the outreach director. I'm based out of the Dubuque office, but I work with the outreach team, which is the case managers and the jail and prison reentry coordinators. We only have 3 case managers that cover 30 counties. So kind of how we divide that up is each case manager covers 10 counties. Obviously, we're not physically present in every county. So we do really rely on partnerships with parishes to try to help us connect sometimes to people that we can provide services to. If there's a family in your parish that you do know that is really struggling, went through something in their life that they just can't seem to get back on track with. We're hoping some of these basic resources, and when I say basic, I'm referring to kind of basic needs, like everybody needs food, everybody needs shelter, everybody needs medical care. Sometimes when families are in those crisis situations that you want at your fingertips, like, who do I call? This family doesn't have food, or where's the free community meal in our town? We're not going to have every single resource. And that's why when Megan mentioned, if there's something that's not listed that you think that we can add, please let us know that. But since Catholic Charities ourselves don't provide all those services, we rely on these partnerships with other agencies. We are frequently in contact with them. We frequently work together with them, with families in need. Helping someone get access to daily needs is a partnership, is a team effort. Not one agency can do it alone. So many times we work together with several agencies. Terry mentioned Friends of the Family. They are an agency that covers almost the same service area we do. They provide housing assistance, rental assistance. They have several different programs to help people specifically that are either homeless or at risk of being homeless. So somebody who just can't pay their rent, and at risk for that family kind of being torn apart or separated. So what we want to do is make sure that families that are in these situations first access those existing services programs that they may be eligible for. If they've already contacted those agencies and maybe are not eligible for some reason, or still have a need that agency themselves hasn't been able to fill, sometimes those agencies will reach out to us at Catholic Charities and say, hey, could you guys help fill in the gap here? Because we've helped them with this, but they still need help with that. But our kind of goal is to make sure that they're getting access to some of these things that they're qualifying for. One example that I will give that's pretty common is many people struggle with paying their utility bill or their electric bill, or if they don't pay it over the winter. And then when it comes time for shutoff notices in the spring, then they all of a sudden are at risk of losing electricity or water. The community action agencies, and there's one in every single county, offers a LIHEAP program. It's a low income heating assistance program. So if people are low income, they're usually eligible for that program. Sometimes they can get assistance for those services, which helps eliminate, hopefully, that disconnect notice if they get one in the mail. So we want to make sure people access those existing resources first. If they've already done that, We would be happy to have you as a parish representative reach out to us, one of our case managers, and say, hey, I know of a family who's really struggling. They've accessed these 3 services already, but they still need more help. Is there anything you guys can do? Our case managers are happy to talk to that family, or if they want to protect their confidentiality and you just want to share information back and forth, however that works, we just ask that that referral kind of comes from you or someone at the parish, because you know the family and can kind of verify the situation. But our case managers do their best to then problem solve with the client, provide them some support, hopefully provide them some hope, and look at what are the priorities and goals, see what we can get them connected to. And if there's anything that they may need, maybe it's a small amount of financial assistance. If we can help with that, we definitely will try to. Please keep us informed if there's anything we can change on the website, or if you just want to talk through a problem like, Terry, like you have a family that's in need and what can we do to help? Please feel free to reach out to us so we can see if there's any services we can get them connected to, or if we can kind of help fill in the gaps.
As we all know, many times it's really hard for those strong Iowan personalities to even ask for help. So Parish is, you're the safe space. You're maybe the first time that somebody's ever had to ask for help and they don't know where else to turn. So they're going to come to a safe place with people that they trust, and then being able to move them from that point forward and to say, everybody needs help sometimes. It's okay to need help sometimes. That's why we're part of a community. So it's so important for the role of parishes. Does anyone even have some examples of a time where you had maybe a walk-in person or a family in need and you weren't sure what to do with them, and had to work a little harder to connect them to resources? This would hopefully be a point where this tool would come into play. Has anybody had a chance to look through the parish portal at all too and use it at all? I know we've had a good amount of traffic on their website. We've had over 1,000 people access this just in the last couple of months. So I know that people are getting out there and using it, which is wonderful.
Megan and Stacy, so our community kitchen isn't listed there, but that's our job. My job is to provide you with that information, and basically that's my next step, is to go out and look at all these, who isn't on there, should be on there, so that when people come in, we can give them the best information possible.
Yes, I would love to add the community kitchen to the listings to make sure that if there's like food pantries, clothing closets, things like that are hosted at the parish level, those should absolutely be included if you would like them to. There's also hidden gems that they may not have a web presence, but they do some really incredible work. So if you know of any of those, please send them our way as well.
This is Father Mark talking. We are also asking each other, at least I asked, since I haven't ventured to the website. We have a food pantry, but we might already be listed, I think, for Dubuque County.
Well, let's check. As of right now, there's very simple, 2 or 3 in each one. So it looks like just the Salvation Army and the Dubuque Food Pantry are currently listed in Dubuque County. Definitely opportunity to add more.
Do you have it in Jones County?
We're kind of on the border with Jones County. I guess you could check there.
Cascade Food Pantry, Mission of Hope, and HACAP is who we have listed in Jones County. So we could list, if your program serves multiple counties, if it's on the border, it could be listed in both. It's really up to you.
All right, well, thank you. We'll try to get in.
Absolutely. To make sure that if you've got things, it's an open channel of communication. And so for those counties that don't have a regional physical Catholic Charities office present, all of our services are available in some format, be that virtual or pop-up workshops and things of that nature. So for example, we have counseling clients represented in 28 out of 30 counties currently, but counselors are not located in all of those counties. So telehealth services connects people to mental health, or if they need to have a meeting with their attorney and they do that via Zoom. They can meet with their immigration attorney virtually and not have to make the trip into Waterloo or Cedar Rapids. So don't feel like a physical location should limit opportunities. I mean, within the scope of that affordable housing, they're located where they're located. But we certainly want to, if people are looking to move and they don't have affordable housing in their community, there's a place to start at least.
I just wanted to share another kind of sample partnership with some of our case managers with parishes, those that do have food pantries or offer free community meals for their community. Our case managers are all trained in how to do SNAP enrollment services. So people that are not receiving any type of food stamps or food benefits, our case managers are able to help families or households apply for those services and hopefully receive those services. Many people don't think that they qualify, or they were not approved in the past, but their circumstances may have changed. So some people just really need someone to walk through the process with them. And our case managers are able to do that. We've partnered with a few parishes so that our case manager comes on site the day they serve their free community meal. And our case managers have been able to help get people enrolled in SNAP. Just kind of an example of how we really appreciate those partnerships with parishes because we are not physically present everywhere, but we definitely want to make those accommodations to reach out and serve those that are in need for the services that we provide.
And similarly, if you have in-person events or you would like Catholic Charities to host a table after Mass on Sunday, or you have a social justice committee who would like to learn more about one or all of our programs, please let us know. We'd love to send a staff out either on a specific topic or generally. If you're in need of new printed materials, I can drop those off or mail them, because sometimes we've got some brochures floating around from a few years ago. So if you haven't had anything new from us in the last, say, 3 years, I'm going to need to send you some new brochures. So keep those things in mind too. Like, we are here, and sometimes it just takes that first step to say, like, we're available and we'd love to come to you and your parish when works for you. Hopefully we're able to answer all the questions on the parish portal. I really appreciate everyone taking the time today. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for attending, everybody.